Was there a reason you smirked?
Yeah,
and
because we always bring up 09 because I beat him by 1 point. It's like Dominic Toretto in Fast and Furious. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
I was graduating high school in 09, and I remember that actually.
Yeah.
What did he beat you with?
We were riding freestyle. It was Home Depot Center. It was like
It was in LA.
Yeah.
It was in LA.
Yeah.
Because I did the paintball tournament there at the Home Depot Center.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was the weekend before or after.
Yep.
And so we were there watching.
He wanted to shoot me with a paintball gun after that.
I was so pissed.
So you beat him by 1 point.
One point.
What trick did you do?
Well, it was the freestyle contest. It was actually one of the gnarliest years for X Games.
By far the gnarliest
Yeah, we
year for
had
X Games.
16 riders. You had a gnarly course. You did 3 60-second runs, your best 2 count, and they went 16 down to 8 riders. Then 8 riders did 3 more runs, 60 seconds, best 2 count, and then the final 4 went into the night show for the last 4.
And then the final 4, we had 3 90-second rounds of riding, but you couldn't
repeat.
You couldn't do the run you did in your first run. You couldn't do the same run for your second run, and then you couldn't do the same run for your third one. The judges wanted to see
Good,
a
because I crashed
variety of
in the
mixture.
second run.
Yeah, I was the only one the whole weekend that didn't have one crash, and you and Nate and everyone else did.
Yeah.
And you still lost.
By 1 point.
That was the best I've ever seen him ride.
Here's my theory of why I got beat. The night before, he's riding best trick, and you did a Flying Dutchman?
Yeah,
360 Indy, which was on the 75 footer, which was the gnarliest trick at the time. I feel like on a motorcycle in history, Just there was dudes not even doing 360s, and he's doing heel clicker ones. He's doing one-handed ones. He's
no-handers, one-handed knacks.
He called it the flying. Why'd you call it the Flying Dutchman?
Because In-N-Out's got the secret menu. There's a Flying Dutchman, and all it is a meat patty, a cheese slice, a meat patty, and a cheese slice. No bun, no sauce, nothing. So my buddy Kibby, who worked for Geico Honda, he bought one home and he tried to feed it to his bulldog, and the bulldog wouldn't even touch it. So I figured the Flying Dutchman is that gnarly, no one wants to fuck with it.
So that's why you call it the Flying Dutchman. So it's a 360 with an Indian air, like double can Indy, double neck Indy.
Double can Indy.
It was downside, right?
Yeah, downside. So
which was gnarly because normally with the 3, you need your hips, you need your legs, you need everything.
You gotta stay central.
Around. Yeah. So he figured a way to do it right before X Games, and he did that in best trick on the 75-foot ramp. And then our buddy Kyle Loza did a body varial. Was it a body varial?
It was the bar hop flip over there. I think he called it the I can't remember, Electric Doom. But he did it the year before off 75-foot and won.
And then the next year he did it on the 45-footer. And so Bilko did his trick, and I'm sitting there with him. Did I ride best trick that year?
No, you didn't.
I'm just sitting there, just street clothes, and I'm like, Bilko lands his trick. He's sitting there. We're all looking. He has the highest score of the night, and I'm like,
one rider to go.
And I already knew what the other dude was doing. We knew he was doing the same trick as last year, but on the small ramp that was at 45 feet. So Bilko did his trick. His score came in. I looked at him. I go, fuck yeah, congrats. Gave him knuckle bump.
As soon as Loza landed and he did the same
trick.
Oh,
yeah, as soon as Loza landed, I go, hey, congrats, dude. You just got a fucking gold. Gave him knuckle bump. We're like, he's sitting there like, fuck yeah, dude. I
didn't want to celebrate too early. And
every single person in the fucking stadium was like, Bilko just won X Games, stoked for him, you know what I mean? And then the score comes up and Kyle Loza wins, and we all look at Bilko, we're like, what?
Yeah, I wasn't.
What the fuck just happened? I had no clue what happened, because I'm like, how do you take this trick that you won on the big ramp last year, and then you do it on the short ramp, and it's already been done, and he comes out and does something brand new on the 75-footer?
Mind you, I nearly missed the podium in 06 with my cliffhanger flip because I did it off the 45.
Yes, exactly, which was still gnarlier than half the other tricks.
Yeah.
So he got robbed. He got robbed. Everyone in the industry knew he got robbed. If anyone that doesn't know anything about freestyle motocross knew he got robbed that night. So the next night, freestyle's going down. Like you said,
I got a bonus point for being robbed.
He got a bonus point for being robbed. The head judge was Eric Johnson from Monster.
I think he's the one.
And I was a Rockstar guy at the time. So in my head, I'm like, this motherfucker just robbed me, and they gave him his, because he's like, we'll make it up to you. You know what I mean?
No, they said that, but they put me on a billboard the next year in LA. So
so the robbery got you the win.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say my ride.
He rode really good. We all rode really good, but me being me, I'm like, fuck yeah. I did get an answer point because I was a Rockstar guy. He was a Monster guy.
That's the best I've seen you ride freestyle, though.
Yeah, that was the year where I was like, I was already winning a bunch of contests that year, so that's going into that, I was pretty confident. All right, I'm going to do good.
15 years ago.
Maybe
think about it.
Yeah.
What year was it?
It's 2009, 15 years ago.
It's 2000. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. You guys have been doing this long.
I'm not saying it to rub it in. That's the only one he hasn't won. He's won Winter X Best Trick, Summer Best Trick.
My one regret is not winning X Games freestyle. Because that's the one thing that I've never won in my career. And
how is that? You're like the most legendary freestyle
I've always
rider.
been right there, second, third. Even the year I won Best Trick in 05.
Yeah,
I beat Pastrana and I beat Nate. And then the next day we rode freestyle, and I remember doing my first run, and they took 2 90-second runs. I did my first run, and I'm sitting in 4th place. And I'm like, how? I went out and I did all my gnarly flip tricks on all the dirt jumps when they were doing all their gnarly flip tricks on the ramps, the typical 75 and 45. And I remember the second run, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do my best run I can possibly do and just lay it all on the table. And then I ghost ride my bike. I was like, fuck you.
So that was your fault. You ghost rode it. That's where I learned it from.
Yeah. So after my last run, I did my trick, came up and threw my bike. And I was like, fuck you. Like, there we go. Like, I better be on this podium right now. And I still got fourth place.
That was, one of the
mad.
first posters I seen. It was in your garage and you're like, fourth place. Fuck this. You signed it.
And I remember going up on the landing and grabbing rocks and throwing them at the judging tower because I was so pissed off. Like,
Did you get in trouble for that?
No.
No,
what are you going to do?
Games, they didn't care.
Yeah, no. They liked it because it was TV. It sold seats.
Leave it to an Australian, by the way, to give the American secret menu of In-N-Out out to the world. What a man.
Well, I think
what a come up.
with like freestyle, if we had a governing body like AMA or like the NFL or something, we would not have careers. Like, because, you know, if we go to an after party and we run amok, like if it's a football player, they're out the next day on the front page, getting sanctioned, getting fined. And
like, we're
ours
glad.
Was promoted.
We're so glad we didn't have social media when we were like winning contests and doing all that stuff because I would have posted the dumbest stuff. Like I wouldn't have any sponsors that I have today.
Imagine that like 1 month
Besides
you're on
Jackson.
Krusty